But there is the other aspect of the ruling that concerns extraordinary rendition. That very one is one that compounded us, because the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu is so open and notorious. Two international institutions or two separate panels of the United Nations have made pronouncements regarding his extraordinary rendition and called for his unconditional release. Nigeria is a member of the United Nations and therefore bound to consider that and implement that decision. And in Nigeria here, 3 courts have made similar pronouncements. First was by the Federal High Court of Omahia, which awarded him 500 million naira. And the Court of Appeal also pronounced that he was a victim of extraordinary rendition. And in the Supreme Court, the same Supreme Court that sent this case back to trial, reached the same conclusion, that he was a victim of extraordinary rendition. And all these things are of the record. They are all in the file. And we remember when this trial was being conducted, these very documents were tendered in evidence. So it compounded us, it confused us, that the court now made a pronouncement that the extraordinary rendition had no evidence before the court, that no evidence of it was submitted before the court. And you remember, least but not the last, recently a Kenyan High Court made the same pronouncement. But well, if the court was misled by believing by mistake that these things were not in the evidence, it also said and left the door open that such evidence be submitted. So we're coming back with that evidence, and it's going to be quantum and legion.
So what about the first application on the enemy?
Well, that one too, it wasn't in the evidence that the Nigerian Medical Association has intervened. So it came as a surprise, but there's a short date given of 8 days for the NMA to submit its report. So somebody is ill, I don't think NMA is going to change much of that, but I think the judge wanted to leave the record open to admit every possible evidence regarding this matter. Our client emergent care. So whatever the court says today does not mean that the government shall withdraw back. Just 2 days ago, I wrote a letter. A private hospital has also expressed readiness to admit him here in Abuja. For security reasons, I won't mention the name of the private hospital. But the government, if the government appears to have issues with taking him to the national hospital, we have given them an option of a private hospital also here in Abuja.
So it's safe to say that the application to be transferred to the national hospital was rejected?
No, rejected. No, it's pending.
Yes. One other information,
it hasn't been rejected.
Pending the Nigerian Medical Association.
Pending the admission of this report from the Nigerian Medical Association and the opinion of Nigerian Medical Association. And if you were in court, the judge had ordered that committee or panel to be considered by the Nigerian Medical Association shall have a member from the National Hospital. So National Hospital is still in play.
Thank you very much.
One other information, please. One other information. We are saying that the judge has no jurisdiction whatsoever to try Nnamdi Kanu, because that particular issue of being a victim of extraordinary rendition must be determined, and that one will be whether they will be the one that will confer jurisdiction on the court. And the court said there is no evidence before him. Now we are going to supply evidence before him that Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition. Then, having done that, there is no case to answer. So that you should go home with that. And if they fail to do otherwise, we will not see it as a war against the Igbos.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video. This is Friday, the 26th day of September 2025. As it is breaking that Abuja court dismisses Nnamdi Kanu's no case submission, orders IPOB leader to open defense. You know today that it's expected that the court will rule about the no case submission filed by the councils to Nnamdi Kanu. So dismissing no case submission means that the court is saying that Nnamdi Kanu has a case to answer. So the court has ordered Nnamdi Kanu, that is his defense team, to open a defense about the allegations nailed by the federal government, teams. So what that means is that this court case that people are thinking that maybe it's going to end today, it's going to take more time, more than what people are thinking. And these are the indications, if you ask me, this is my personal opinion, these are the indications that, the hands that are holding Nnamdi Kanu are not ready to let him go. You might call the federal government, you might call the southeastern governors, you might call everybody, including if you may call Britain. But what I know is that the people holding this man down, they are not ready to let him go. Only one thing is our concern, that is his health. And it's important that people understand that the court also has given the Nigeria Medical Association 8 days to confirm Nnamdi Kanu's health, to allow him go to the hospital for treatment. So let's expect that the defense will open, the defense for Nnamdi Kanu. The defense team, Kanu Agabi and Co. will open defense for Nnamdi Kanu, and the case will continue to go on and on. Who knows the outcome? It seems that these people are determined to hold this man down, but holding him down, what will be the purpose, or what will be the gain? What will be the gain of holding this man down in detention? This thing is not laughable. Now, let us understand the details of the article as published by Sowore reporters. It reads that Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja has overruled the no-case submission filed by Kanu's lawyers. This application followed the federal government's presentation of witnesses, evidence, and closing of his case against the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. Following the dismissal of the no-case submission, the judge asked Kanu to enter his defense. Just as I said, we are going to expect that this case is going to continue, because in defending a case, they might come today, adjournment and adjournment. So we are not praying that this case should take long, but before you know, 6 months will pass again. So these are the tactics of, it's a delay tactics, let me put it like this. Now, following the dismissal, I've read that. The Sowore reporters earlier on Friday reported that the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, had arrived at the Federal High Court in Abuja for the final ruling on the application he filed for his release. Kanu, led by the operatives of the Department of State Service DSS, arrived at the court in the company of his legal team led by the former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Kanu Agabi. Now, let us understand more things here. You see, I have seen a lot of concerns on social media, especially past 1 week now. And what is the concerns of the people? People are saying, how can the federal government be treating Nnamdi Kanu like this? Why they are forgiving the terrorists, paying the terrorists, pampering the terrorists, entering peace deal? The terrorists are dictating on what they want. And another question also includes that these terrorists, what is their primary purpose? Look at Boko Haram, ISWAP, and all these people. They said they want a Sharia state, Islamic state in Nigeria. And what is Kanu's issue? Kanu's issue is that he wants Biafra. He wants a referendum. And the federal government said, the way you are doing this, we don't like it. That is why they are keeping him there. But the people that said they don't want Nigeria like this, that they want a Sharia state, they are entering peace agreement with them. Now, I want to draw the conclusion here. What it means that the federal government, I mean the people in power, the people in position and in different offices, they really want a Sharia state in Nigeria. No, that is what it means. If the purpose of Boko Haram, I read the handbook of ISWAP, I do follow all those their things. What they want is complete Sharia state. Complete Sharia state. And these people are radical Islam. It's not just like the Islamic religion of Hausa people, which is a peaceful, even now, including yesterday, they went to the mosque, they shot people, they killed people in the mosque. Why? Because they did not agree with them, because an imam asked the federal government not to enter peace agreement, that they should flush them out. This is because some people actually want this country to be Islamized. If you are saying all these things, it's sensitive and people might not understand what is going. Anybody who is carrying gun, like all these bandits, terrorists you are seeing, they are not a threat. Okay, they want to Islamize the country according to them or not according to me. They say that is their purpose, but they are not threats. You know why? Because the people at the top, we accept what they are bringing. The people at the top, we accept their ideology. They are even sponsoring them. Now, Burkina Faso released a report that the border arms sales has been linked to Nigerian politicians and terrorist organizations in Nigeria. So they keep on buying weapons from all these Sahel places. The ones they have in Nigeria is not okay for them. So they need more. They need to kill more. They need to achieve their aim. And a lot of things are going on, but people are not interested. Anyway, you see, everything that has a beginning must surely have an end, okay? So I am not worried about anything, okay? I'm not worried. If you see the way they are treating people who don't align with their evil agenda. Now, this is also the reason why, you see, all these people who understand what is going on in Nigeria, you need to come together, you need to unite. Look at the way they are treating so many people who have contrary opinion with them. Anyway, Nnamdi Kanu's case, it's been 10 years. 10 years of a case. The federal government have not been able to find him guilty, but they are prolonging the matter and so on and so forth. But I think this is one of the biggest mistakes that these people are making, and something actually is going to go wrong. Yeah, something actually is going to go wrong. And what could that be? You see, for them to continue to delay Nnamdi Kanu's matter like this, there is an ulterior motive. Yeah, there is a reason why they are doing that. If there is no reason, after the appeal court discharging Nnamdi Kanu acquitted, why do they even file appeal? They want to jail this man. They want to kill him. They just want him out of the road. If not, it's not today. When appeal court discharges this man, they could have let him go. Now, even though the federal government, this federal high court, discharging Nnamdi Kanu and asking Nnamdi Kanu to go, do you think the federal government will allow him go? The federal government will not allow him go. Even though some people are using federal government, I don't care, but they will not allow him go like that. Why? Because when a people released him, they did not allow him go. Is it federal high court that will release him that they will allow him go? Yeah. My ideology about all these things has resurrected to this point. I do not believe that they want to release this man. So everything that is going to be will be. But the only question that I'm asking, what is the gain? You know, there is a purpose for everything. The question people should be asking now is, what is the gain of keeping this man? What is the gain? Terrorism, terrorists everywhere. Look at what is going on from north to south. Why are they still keeping this man? If you think you know the answer, let me know in the comment section.
When Nnamdi Kanu talked about the presence of Fulani Janjaweeds in Nigeria, we thought he was just singing. We thought he was saying something possibly born out of the hatred of the Northerners or the Fulanis by the Igbos. But it's now becoming clear, because I am telling you sincerely, it's only the powerful almighty Janjaweeds that can pull this thing that just happened recently in Katsina in regards negotiating with bandits, leaving them with their weapons fully intact, and at the same time even coming to make demands for schools, markets, and the rest of it. That is to say, we're still talking about Ruga Settlement Part 2. That is just it. Sincerely. And I'm telling you, the way it looks now, it seems this Fulani Janjaweeds have Janjaweed clerics, Janjaweed politicians. And funny enough, it's not even just all about being a Muslim or Islam. The fact is, even if you are a Muslim or not, I am telling you, even if you are a Muslim, as long as you are not of the Janjaweed family, I am telling you that means you are not even a Muslim. Because the way it looks now, the Janjaweed family actually is all about the radical explanation or definition of Islam, the way they understand it. I am telling you. And that is why they are able to render havoc on even Muslims themselves. And if you think what we are saying is not true, in the midst of all this kidnapping, tell me Fulanis that have been kidnapped and that they have demanded ransom for. Or tell me how many Fulani communities have been ravaged with these same people. And what is the argument? The argument, the initial reason for these such actions in the first place was based on the fact that they were attacked. A lot of their people were attacked. And I'm telling you, on what basis? On the basis that they enter people's farm and they finish their crops, most especially houses that are known to be predominantly farmers. All of a sudden, and let me tell you another attribute of these Janjaweeds. As far as these Janjaweeds are concerned, I'm telling you at the moment they don't even have a country. When you allow these Janjaweeds to establish their empire in any state, I am telling you, they invite all other Janjaweeds from all parts of the world. Get me wrong. Get me right. I'm not saying that all the Fulanis are bad in nature, but I am telling you that it seems they are Janjaweeds and they are all about an agenda. And the earlier everybody comes to this come to term with this, the better for everybody. And to some certain extent, it may as well look as if the Janjaweeds happen to be even the people keeping this man in detention for long. Because having seen a lot he has said, he seems to be a person that knows so much, which is actually troubling to them. I am telling you, and nothing more. Well, I just hope Nigerians will wake up to this and realize that there are people that are bent on destabilizing this country and ensuring that it doesn't progress and it doesn't grow. All they are all about is establishing their kingdom of radicality that can be spread to the world. That is how it looks at the moment.